Thank you all for being with me today. How's everyone doing?
Good.
Great,
It's nice
you?
to see you again, Abe. How are you?
Yes, you too. Vivian, it's great. Yeah, it's great to talk to you again. I feel like Scrap and Soft Boil have some things in common. Do you think they're very far apart from each other, or maybe not so much?
I think actually I've told Camille this. Actually, Alec, I don't even know if I told you this. Okay, well, I don't
No.
want to do a spoiler, but there's a car situation
Hmm.
with Camille's character that is almost exactly what Beth went through in Scrap. And I was like, this is so weird. It was very weird. I mean, I even remember when I got the script, I was like, oh, she's like a younger, even more messed up Beth. But yes, I like projects where women are going through shit.
Appreciate that this is a different role for you than in this one. You're somebody I think who has it a lot more together, where Camille, this character is very interesting. I'd like to hope maybe not too reminiscent of your own life.
Yeah, no, 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 no. Maybe a past version of me, but certainly I have my shit together a little bit more, I would say. A little bit more.
To know from you and Alec where this story came from, what if this actually happened in some capacity, or a friend told you it happened, and how it turned into this.
Yeah, so I met Camille. She had a film in the same block as mine. And her film was just right. I thought it was brilliant. She was hilarious and kind of started working on this concept, where I wanted her to star in something. And I think like this was kind of a connection point for both of us, in this world of like pursuing whatever it is that we're pursuing. And I think it was a lot of just like our experiences kind of combined and blended and new things added, and just the struggle of being a late 20s early 30s person, especially in this world and industry. And I think we kind of just started adding things, and things kind of came together as we went through Yes.
Would you say is the ideal audience for this? Do you want people to look at it and be like, wow, I'm not that bad, or like I am that bad, or it's just somebody to be like, I couldn't imagine this, but I'm going to laugh at these people?
um I think Camille is like such a special, unique comedic voice. And I think the most important thing in an audience is that they connect with that. And whether or not they see themselves as better or worse, I'll let them figure that out. Um, but yeah, I think it's obviously like a very specific type of like kind of awkward comedy that I feel like is becoming more widely accepted now. And yeah, I hope that the audience connects to that.
Do you all have good or bad experiences with babysitting?
I honestly, I have didn't even I've barely babysat. I babysat when I was 12, and then I've mostly just I've don't have that much. I actually hate kids.
Yeah, I
So
never really babysat either, really, which is funny.
I had some pretty rough experiences with babysitters. Yeah. I used to have this babysitter. He was a nice guy. I think at the time it just made me a little nervous. His joke was pinning me and my brother up against the wall and demanding we give him his our lunch money. I think it was a joke to him, but I remember being a little scared. Yeah. But other than that, I can't really complain.
What do you guys have mapped out for this show beyond the pilot?
Yeah, so right now we have a whole series laid out, season one, broken out, the where it goes from there, more loosely broken out, but we're really hoping that we can follow Lulu through her chaotic life and really trying to come to terms with the uncertainty in her life. And I think a lot of the series is centers around her trying to find her identity and what is like her thing. And yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, Alec and Camille, one of the reasons I really wanted to be part of this project is like they're both separately so talented, but then together, like I remember Alec had sent me this like massive document that had like detailed backstories for like all the characters and like a whole arc of the character relationship for like everybody. All even this characters that are maybe smaller in the pilot. And I was just like, this is so like they spent so much time sort of planning out all of these future things that would develop and then kind of backtracking and planting seeds in the pilot. And that was like that's something that really made me want to be part of this.
What is it like doing it this way rather than just sort of, having obviously the ideal would be to be picked up and produce something, etc., but to have it to screen at a festival, do you feel like this is not to say a proof of concept, but that, you want to see it evolve from here, or do you feel like you have it mapped out and if it hits, then it's going to be the same as you already have it imagined?
Always open to evolution. I think it was really nice that it kind of happened this way. Camille and I first were talking about doing it as a short, and then I think we just the way in which the first episode ends was something we had in the short and felt like it was something that works really well for pilot format. Not to give away any story beats, but um, we are we're pretty open to ideas if they're the right ideas. And we definitely want to see it evolve. And I think we're both super curious, like just how far we can push this character and story.
I will admit I spend most of my time at festivals watching features and try to catch shorts, sometimes beforehand so I can have great conversations like this.
Mhm.
In your experience, who are the people who go to see short films and TV pilots at film festivals? What are they looking for?
That's an interesting question. Vivian, that's Vivian's lane for sure.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's my lane, but I think I actually do think, and this has been true for some friends, because people want IP, right? Like I know people have gotten meetings sort of, also what's really funny, sometimes they get meetings on the back of shorts where you're like, the short would never be a series, but they're like trying to like pitch something because an executive's kind of taken a shine to the voice behind the writing or the actors on screen or the directorial choices. So, yeah, I mean, whether it's soft boil or not soft boil, like I want this project to bring a lot of attention to sort of Alec and Camille and how talented they are. Yeah, it's like just I'm grateful to be along for the ride.
You have a sense of the other films that you're sorry, the other pilots that you'll be screening with, and do you feel like there's people are in for the same kind of ride, or you're also sort of intrigued by what else is going to be there?
I think they're going to be very funny, the other two pilots. I think it seems like it's like a three funny pilots, and obviously I'm excited for both. I've literally looked at both, like all the stills of all of them. I'm like, this is gonna be so good. I'm like I can't wait. But Worried looks amazing. Gideon Adlon so talented. I'm like Nicole Holofcener, like the whole thing. I'm like amazing. Freelance looks so good. I feel like I've watched anyway. I feel like I've watched too much because I like maybe it's creepy, but I have been watching all their stuff and I'm very excited.
Yeah, I think overall we're just super humbled to be a part of it, and really looking forward to seeing the other pieces.
I will say a good still is very important because I know that when I pick something out, I read it, try to forget about it. But if there's a picture I keep seeing, and there's always jokes about like Killers of the Flower Moon that had the same still, and that was all anyone ever seen of the film for 2 years. So you cannot underestimate a good still.
Yeah.
Um, this also, no matter what happens with the future of the series, this is the last Sundance in Park City. What does it feel like to be a part of that? And what have your experiences been in the past with this festival?
I have never been to Sundance. I always had a strict, I'm not going to go unless I get in rule. And luckily this happened in the last year. So I am beyond excited again. I just feel like super humbled that we're a part of this and like so grateful that I worked with these two amazing women and everyone else that was involved in this project. And I think I'm just most excited that like everyone on our team will get to experience that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my third year, but my first year with a project. So I'm actually grateful that I went without a project first, so I feel like I know the lay of the land. But yeah, but I'm also like it is not lost on me that like that's very magical that we get a film in the festival when it's its last year in Park City, and it's had this like extraordinary legacy and relationship to Park City. So yeah, I think it's special for all those reasons.
Yeah, I agree. I've been to Park City because of my short was at Slam Dance in 2023, and it was literally the most magical experience of my life. And I cannot believe that we get to go again. I just literally can't believe it.
What advice would you give to people who are trying to make something like this and, just sort of getting frustrated and not sure something will ever come of it.
Don't do it.
God.
Uh, yeah, I don't know about advice. Again, like I feel like we're just stumbling into a lot of things that we all feel like super lucky. And obviously, like tons of work went into this. If there's any advice I would give to anyone, it's just work more. Um, that seems to be the objective solution to a lot of problems for me, at least. But yeah, I can't pretend to have anything figured out. So
Yeah, and
I'll
it's not
pass it
like,
on to
it's not
them.
like you can make something that's like a Sundance
Yeah.
pilot. You know what I mean? It's like, and thinking like that way is like madness anyway, because ultimately, what does it guarantee? Nothing. Like we all know filmmakers who've had, amazing buzz out of Sundance, and then like you check in with them 5 years later and they don't have a career. So it's like, not to get dark, but yeah, so I think it's like what Alex was saying. It's like work with people that you think are super talented and that you respect and are good people, and like just try to keep like leveling up on yourself.
Yeah, something I found with comedy at least is like I was doing post and everyone has different senses of humor and I think like really just like coming back to what do I find really funny about this and my like most trusted collaborators on this project find funny about this and like what are the highlights because I think like I this is my first like real scripted comedy, and it is a very different beast than what I've worked with before. And I find, once you've watched things, once you watch a joke hundreds of times, like you start to think, is this still as funny as I thought it was the first time?
Well, I'd
There's
love
some
to know from
stuff that
each.
Camille, oh, sorry, I was just gonna say Camille, like, I mean, editing the pilot. I feel like there's like a whole other version just of like other things that Camille said that were hilarious.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
quite a
maybe
large bloopers reel.
I feel like a lot of it would have been gibberish. So
Well, I would love to know from each of you something you've seen recently, whether it's a short, it's a TV pilot, a show, or a film, a feature that's really, stuck with you for whatever reason.
Ooh, I would love to shout out. I saw this hilarious indie comedy called Micro Budget that I don't know if they have distribution yet. I think they might be gearing up for a limited theatrical this spring. Morgan Evans is the director, and it's so funny, and it's funny in the same way that that I think Soft Boil is funny, which is that kind of comedy that's really character based and isn't kind of talking down to the audience and also isn't mean-spirited. And I thought Micro Budget was great. So if people look out for that, it's just like joke after joke, really funny situational comedy.
Yeah, this year, God, Vivian's so much better at seeing some of those more niche films. I was blown away by Sentimental Value. Worst Person in the World is something that we discussed a lot going into this. Just a character at that time in their life, and I found Sentimental Value to just balance these emotional aspects of these characters in such a nuanced, interesting way. Um, yeah, that and Rental Family were had big hearts this year. Those ones hit me.
I rewatched Plane, Trains, and Automobiles. I've
Oh, that's a good one. Uh,
been right now I'm watching a lot of just anything with yeah, just mostly old comedians right now.
it's good.
I like how those three answers go to come together to bring you, soft foil.
Yeah.
Well, I wish you all so much luck and to have a great time in Park City for Sundance, and I look forward to seeing more soft foil in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Abe.
Thanks,
Appreciate your
Abe.
time.